as the crypto market is evolving, now it is demanding you to pay attention to what is happening in the market right now, because that is going to impact you when you are going to take your profits out of the market. If you don't know what's exactly happening in the market, if you don't know what exchange offers you what percentage of the liquidity in the market, that's really going to hurt you if you are not placed correctly. Now, you have a different option for that. But to understand all of this, you need to look at the price and say, okay, what do I see here in the price? What can I anticipate in the market? Now, it's not only that, right? When you anticipate these kind of stuff, you can even use simple mathematical models and validate that. Now, yes, you're going to get these numbers, but the problem is, how will you take your profits out? Because the majority of exchanges, this is just for XRP. Now, you can look at all the different assets in your portfolio and see how this stands for XRP. That's not looking too good. The way Binance is being targeted, that's not really looking good. 25% of the volume comes from there. Now, you saw what happened in Japan, you saw what's happening in Canada. Now it's coming from UK. But the problem is, instead of addressing that and trying to establish what's happening and giving us, the investors, the right stuff, say this is happening in the market, you should be understanding this, we are doing this sort of stuff, they are not kind of giving us what we need. Instead, they're kind of just saying that's a FUD, but right now it doesn't actually seems to be FUD. So understand, if you are in exchanges which give you like 0.02, 0.01% or even less volume, while you take money out, you are gonna have hardships. When you try to take your money out of the market, that's going to be really hard for you. So make sure you have 4 or 5 different exchanges where you are going to take your profits out, and you have some exchanges like Bitrue, HitBTC, Bitmart, Bitstamp, all those at least which have 1 to 2% of the daily market volume. If it's not, that's going to be a trouble for you while you try to take your money out of the market. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. So as we look at price fluctuations in XRP, we also do understand, okay, this is like we went up, say 18 days and then consolidated 64 days. So that's a long consolidation, meaning the impulse is to the upside. It was 227% to the upside. Then the next candle was like just 4 days to the upside with kind of a real bullish move there, then retesting that top, all of them like 200%. Then 60 days of consolidation. So now if you look at this, first one was 200 and it took 61 days. The second one was 227, it took like 64 days. Right now what we have in the market is 10 days, 266% and 73 days of consolidation. So here, yes, it was 227, but it took 18 days to reach there. Right now it just took 10 days to make that 266. So chances are higher we are going to consolidate a little bit longer and then slowly start moving higher. So what that gives us is simple. We are trending higher. Each time we go up, we are making a new high. Now that's about Bitcoin. If you are looking at Bitcoin, then we see like a possibility is that it's a double bottom forming. But yes, we'll have to move through about this resistance and then retest this level to make sure that the market is trending higher. And as the market trends higher, that's going to give us a lot of attention, because now the FUD is at the highest with China's news, Bitcoin miners moving out, Binance news, everything is getting really interesting now. So if you look at this in a manner like, okay, I understand that when the price is going down, we are getting all these negative news, and when the price is slowly rising, you don't get that much of a bullish news. But when the price reaches the peak, you're getting a lot of bullish news saying retail investors come and buy this because we want to take profit and sell this to you. Don't fall for that. Instead, look at these and understand when the price goes down, you have upside like this. This is just connecting the top and the bottom to look at the Fibonacci extensions, and it was just above here first time. Second time it came closer to 3.618 mark. The next time, if you are looking at the same, that's like $6 or more, as we just talked previously. Now consider all of this. Here the consolidation period was longer. You tested that range for a long time. Then when you broke above that, it was like quarter, 30%, or I'd say 25 to 30% of what it was at the first time. It retested that area and then it broke higher. Now that's literally the best thing to happen. Now next time when we are coming up, what we can anticipate is it's going to be either similar to this one or a little bit shorter than this consolidation range here. But the range we anticipate, even if it is lesser than this, which was like 16x, if you are going to get 15x, which is a little bit less than that, you are still managing to reach around 7.5 to $10, right? $7.5, it will be like 15x from the bottom of 0.5. Then when you go higher, you are looking at higher ROI. But if you really need to get this higher ROI, you first have to understand what's happening in the market, how your portfolio is kind of impacted with a lot of different assets. You can be confused, but look at the daily trading volume, look at the liquidity in that particular asset. How much is the buyers, how much is the sellers, how is the market actually moving? This gives you an idea where to put your money in, because recently I've been actually seeing people tend to buy into assets which they don't even know what the project is. Now I'm not saying bad, but it's just because some of the YouTubers saying, okay, buy this, they're buying that. I'm like, it's your hard-earned money. Don't do that. If you're sure about that project, then you go look at the volume, then you look at the liquidity. You understand the project is sound. Yes. Now you then go look at the price, because there are assets which have good fundamentals, but the price just went skyrocketing up, say 500 or 1000x to the upside. That means right now, either they have reached the fair value to that fundamental, or it's overvalued. So it's your decision. In the stock market, yes, you have choice. You look at the profits, you look at the earnings ratio, then you look at the debt, you look at the cash. You have a lot of stuff to understand. If there is no debt, that company is not going bankrupt. If they have a pile of cash, if they're buying a ton of their own company, if they own 50-60% of their own company, that's bullish news, right? But in the crypto market, it's different. So kind of before you make any huge decision to invest your money into cryptos, you need to make sure that project is sound and the price hasn't actually reached the value based on the fundamentals. So if you see the fundamentals for XRP and the trend, it's so clear that yes, we are moving higher. Now the news here is kind of a little bit irritating, because for us XRP holders, it happens to be like Binance is actually giving us 25% of the daily volume, and it's one of the exchange which gives you a long list of fiats to move in from, right? So that's like, say for example, some of the exchanges here in South Korea offers you like 0.01%, say Upbit, say Flybit. All of them are giving you only this much of liquidity. So when the price pops to $10, $20, whatever your target is, think how much can you take out of the market. If you don't have a proper profit taking strategy, a proper exit strategy based on the daily market volume and the exchanges you are in, that's going to be trouble. You try to take your profits in, you click that sell button, but it will get executed at a lower price because there is no one at the other side to buy it from you. So that is going to be volatile for you, right? You sell at $6, it come back to $3 and get executed. How will you feel? So you now need a proper strategy for all of your assets in your portfolio. And if you really need that, you can look at the Patreon, and I'm trying to give you guys the most assets there with the analysis and understanding, so that you now know what we are looking at, right? You now know what to look forward to. So with that being said, now it's 28th of the month. It's better to jump on early next month. That would be better. Now guys, you can understand when you're buying into different assets, as I've said this before, if you don't see that project going higher in this cycle, if you don't know the project and the trend itself, don't put your money in, because recent drop pushed the market so low that the market went too low for a lot of assets. It went to zero. It went 95, 99% to the downside. We have assets like that, and yeah, for us, we try to avoid all of those, and we are in a good position. Now let's talk about technicals itself. Let's actually go into a 4-hour chart of XRP and look at what the charts are showing you. Now yes, the price is creating a higher low, but in order to validate this, yeah, it is showing us a higher low, but the problem is we also definitely need a higher high to say that this trend is continuing. So if we are creating another low here, that's fine, that's clearly a higher low, but we didn't actually get a higher high. So in order to get that one, we need to move above 0.68. So when we cross above this mark and put a high somewhere here, that's going to be good. Now keep that in mind. When we are going up, we are not directly going to $2, because we are going to have overhead resistance in this range. This range was acting as a support for some time, which is 0.8, and then we broke below, we capitulated. So when we go back up, consider 0.8 as a little bit of resistance. Now that's on a 4-hour chart, so that's not going to be the deadly resistance which you are gonna look at. On a daily, you still have a little bit of resistance there, along with the moving averages moving to the downside on 12-hour, but even on the daily you get something similar. The moving average gives you a little bit more room, and you see like, okay, the possibilities are the 50-day moving average is going to cross the 200-day moving average at some point, and the price is going to come back to retest this one. Based on history, we have seen that when that moving average was crossing to the downside, we went above that range and crossed above. So that's kind of something we can look at. So that means potentially we are going to come and retest this 0.8 mark. And what does that mean? Say if this was the low, 0.51 was the low, what you are looking at next is something like the price can move higher. So what should be the next level? Possibly it can be at least a little bit of move. But now take this into account. You're not actually looking at different levels of $500, $1,000 like many says, but right now what you're looking at, the market is like the market needs to actually move higher, and if you actually get similar price fluctuation, you are trending to the upside. So if you put that into perspective, if you take these fluctuation, the mathematical models here, the Fib extension gives you this. Now these are all taken directly from the price, so you don't literally have to use that if you understand the price fluctuation, if you understand the trend, because any indicators which you use, let it be any of the indicators which you use. Now understand this properly. You go to the list of indicators and you see whatever indicators it is, understand all of them are being calculated from the base of the price. All of those mathematical models use the price to calculate. It's just easy visualization, easy understanding. But if you are one of that guy who look at the price and understand, okay, this is the trend and this is the possibility, you don't really need all of these indicators. But yes, if you are new to the market, then to understand this, you need a lot of stuff. But keeping it as simple as possible gives you better idea. Say for example, in this one, you don't have much of an indicators here, just the price action with the moving average. Now look at this. First time when you moved up, you came back to retest the moving average. Fine, you stayed there, you bounced. Then again you came back, you retested that zone of moving average and went back up. You came back, supported with 2 moving average, 20 crossing the 200 and moved up. Now you're coming back down towards the moving average. At first 20-day moving average acted as a little bit of support. Now the 50-day moving average is acting as a support. So right now when the price stays above the 200-day moving average, that means still 200-day moving average is trending higher, because there is no other chance other than moving higher, because the price is above the average, right? Say for example, if you consider your cost basis for XRP, it's 0.3. If you're buying at current levels, you're averaging up, right? It's the same concept. So when the 200-day moving average is trending higher, now take a step back, zoom out, look at the price like this and say, what do you actually see? You don't actually need a ton of indicators here to see what I see here. Each time when you're going up, you're putting new highs. Each time you're creating this trend to the upside, and I've been showing this from a long time, meaning even when we were here during this time, I was talking to you about this, right? From 2019, when we were going down here through this capitulation, I was talking to you guys about this. When the market was down like this, I was literally saying that should be the bottom. When we were going through all of these bottoms here, we were there in it. We were talking you through that. Now you just try to connect this bottoms and you see, okay, fine, that's like we came touched that bottom. Now that's on a weekly and you reach the 50-day moving average there. That's a great choice, right? The 200-day moving average is now showing you a bullish cross. That's a golden cross on a weekly, because golden cross on a weekly happens, on a daily. If you are getting that 4 or 5 times in a bull market cycle, you're gonna get 1 or 2 times in a weekly chart, and that's the bullishness in the market, and that's still before wave 2, the major wave to the upside. So if you have patience in the market, you're gonna make money. But the difference here is most of the retail investors can't stay in the market for a long time when the price is slowing down. See, on a daily chart, most of them are like, it's not moving much, but it has been the same for a long time. If you look at the price fluctuation from here to here, it took a long time, 63 days to the bottom, then it popped again, 60 days to the bottom, then it popped. So now it's like, already it's been 70 days. So if we have 30-40 days more and the price is going back up, is that a problem with your portfolio? If that's the case, yeah, you can just close, take hit and move out. But if you have patience in the market to sit tight and not doing anything, just even if you want to look at the market, you can just look at the market once in a day, understand what the market is doing, and then step out, have your normal life. And once you come back, you're gonna get all of this perspective, right? When you're getting these in profit, it's really interesting. I see a lot of guys, when the price was moving up at 1.9, when we were taking profit, a lot of people were asking, why do we need to take profit? We are continuing higher. And I'm like, okay, that's true that we are continuing higher, but considering the bottom and the trend higher, we actually went substantially high. For XRP to go like 10x, that's really on a short time within wave 1, 10x for XRP is really good return. Now that being said, in wave 2, it would be in multiples, right? 2 to 3 times a minimum benchmark, which we see from the Elliott wave analysis. So put that into perspective. From here, you are looking for 30x. Now, yes, I know it would be hard for a lot of guys to believe we're going to reach that $15 to $20 mark. But when we reach there, we are going to talk about this. Remember the days when we were talking about $1 mark, $2 mark, when we were here at 0.2, that was 10x from the bottom, and we did that. A lot of guys who were listening to this channel from that time know what we are talking about. So guys, again, back to the important stuff here. When this is happening, you need to pay attention to. Look at your exchange, look at the volume. Is it dropping? Is it increasing? Because when one of the exchange is having trouble, usually, say for example, if you ask me, I'm slowly moving out, right? So people are slowly moving out of Binance to different exchanges where there is volume. So you'll see the increase in volume in different exchange, and if you happen to be on that exchange, make that wise decision. Move your assets into that place where you have a higher liquidity source, because if you have higher liquidity, that means chances are high when you take your profits out, it's going to be easy process. You're going to get it. And especially with XRP, it's like this, right? 3 seconds, you put the order, you get it closed. So that's something important. And if you receive value for your time, please do support the channel. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. And if you're looking to join the Patreon, I advise you to join next month. Early next month would be better, so the Patreon won't double charge you and I don't have to go through the process of refunding you and others. But yes, the market is slow. You can take 3-4 days off, then join back when the market is going to go higher. Just the case is, if the market is going back up, you missed the bottom, and right now most of the assets are still closer to the bottom, and that's an opportunity. If you haven't bought XRP from this level and you came in the market when the price was shooting higher, this is a golden opportunity for you. Similarly, a lot of assets shows you potential opportunity to go like 10, 15, 20, 25x, and we are kind of going through all of them in the Patreon, discussing through them, giving you guys that idea. This happened with this asset, and right now it seems that this asset is going to do this stuff. So that's like you see an opportunity, and if you want to take benefit of that, if that asset is in your exchange, you can do that. So guys, that's all for today, and I'm gonna meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.